The biggest single expense that we have encountered since beginning our restoration of the Chateau 4 years ago has been the facades. It was so expensive, in fact, that to begin with, we could only afford to do 3 of them. And that was until this year, where we were finally able to commission our mason to restore that 4th facade. And today we are really excited to reveal the hard work of Jean-Paul and his men and the result of 4 months of work. A huge thank you to our Patreon community, because we use all of our Patreon revenue for projects like this. And also thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video.
Like on all the facades, the first step was to take off the old plaster, a mix of the original lime plaster and large areas of cement-based patches which have been added over the last 100 years. Cement is not a good ingredient for this type of walls, as it retains moisture in the wall and it eventually expands, cracking the adjacent bricks. The next step is to take out the old pointing, which produces tons of dust and takes forever, and then replacing the broken bricks.
Ça avance.
With the bricks in place, the masons start repointing. It's again a mix of sand, water and lime, the exact same ingredients as hundreds of years ago.
Today we have Anthony here, our roofer, and I don't know if you can see him, he's just up there. Bonjour Anthony, ça va?
Ça va.
So I was just coming down the scaffolding, and what I find really interesting is having a look here. It feels like it's an excavation, like a time team dig, because actually they've obviously used a lot of flintstone to fill the walls, but they've also used like old tourmattes, clay tiles, and when I was just going down over there, I spotted something really beautiful, so I'm going to show you. Just looking in here, and there's a tourmette here, but it's actually enameled and it's got a beautiful like jade green colour, so I don't know how old that is, but it's really beautiful to see. Who knows where it came from? Maybe the original chateau that was here before this one was built. It's really cool to see it at this stage, because you can see right at the top where they finished it and it looks so beautiful, and then the middle, they've cleaned up the bricks and they're in the middle of doing all of the joints of the brickwork, and then down here it's just chaos and mess. Hi Ziggs! Hi Ziggs! Hi! Whilst the builders were busy finishing the facade, we received a delivery that made Philip so excited that he forgot to switch on his microphone. What he tried to explain is that on our journey to the south of France a few months ago, we found a shop selling giant flower pots. We fell in love with one particular model and ordered 2 of them, which are made to order and therefore took several months to be delivered. But here they are.
So I'm happy I managed to bring these flower pots here and the 2 plants that will live in here. These 2 guys need a haircut, but that's not a problem, because my second name is Topiary King, Master. topiary chef, Professor Topiary. But I'm not doing that here because it makes a mess. Now, one ball might be a bit longer than the other one, but that happens in nature all the time and nobody's going to see that once they're in front of the chateau. I consider myself extremely lucky to have found these masons for the renovation of our facade. One of the most difficult things for me and Anna in the last 4 years was to find good artisans. Good ones are booked out in France for months or even years. And sometimes we found out later that there were people available, but we didn't know about them because either they didn't have a web presence at all, or it was so bad that we couldn't find it on Google. This is a pity for everybody, and there's absolutely no excuse nowadays not to have a good web presence thanks to Squarespace, an all-in-one platform to build an outstanding web page, and who once again happens to be this week's ad. With Squarespace you don't need to hire a designer or a programmer because it's based on templates, which you choose according to your needs and style, and from there on all you have to do is to upload your images and texts. If you still think you need help or have a particularly complex project, Squarespace can simply put you in touch with an expert who will help you to polish an existing site or build a new one from scratch. So if you would like to see how easy it is to finally create your perfect web presence, head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/howtorenovate-a-chateau to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Okay, so the day has come to finally make a decision about the paint color in here for the woodwork. I don't know why, this room in particular, it's such a tiny space, but it has been giving me a headache, and I've been going backwards and forwards about which color to paint the woodwork. I showed you guys my 2 simulations that I did with my wallpaper that I made. I did a poll with our patrons. I also asked our Instagram following, and it was really interesting because there was really mixed feedback and really strong points on either side. For the white, there was a lot of people saying it opens up the space, it's obviously very narrow, sort of makes it a bit more joyful. And then on the pro blue woodwork, we had a lot of arguments saying, you know, it feels more exciting, more interesting, more practical because it's a boot room where we're gonna have muddy boots. I was like thinking and hoping that I would have like a clear answer from everybody, but actually it just made me even more confused. I've done this test and you can see how it looks next to the light color and the blue, the dark blue. I think I'm gonna go with the light color. So I was just starting to paint in white.
Yes, and I said I don't mind white. It's not what I would do.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ugly. Mm-hmm. I just think it's not good.
It's not good.
No, but it's not ugly, it's just not good.
What's not good?
White.
I just decided I was going to paint white and I was really sure about my decision. And I started painting
And then you came in and you're like, yeah, I think it's really boring. It's going to be boring.
Yeah, because it is boring. But that's also because some people might say I have a bias towards blue.
Yeah, it's true. You are in a completely blue
No,
outfit.
that's a coincidence. But if this is a white trim and a blue wallpaper, this becomes kind of an accessory to wallpaper.
Yeah.
It means that it could be any wallpaper, it's a white trim, and then to decorate a room, we put a wallpaper on the wall. If the room is blue, if the trim is blue and there's a wallpaper, it's a global concept.
Yeah.
It's a color that fills the room, and it's not a room with a white trim and a wallpaper that decorates the room.
Oh. What if I hate it and then I have to repaint it? Are you going to help me?
No, I don't think you want me to help you. If it's, I
don't
can.
want- Well,
How difficult is it to repaint it white if it's blue?
it was just going to be really annoying, and everybody is going to have to watch me do it because it's going to take a long time.
Yeah, you asked me. I think it's the truth. The truth counts. The most important thing in the world is the truth.
Yeah.
And being a man of truth and having most of the time the truth on my side, I think you should listen to me.
The truth about renovating, self-renovating, and that is that it's not always easy, and maybe it looks really easy when you see it on the vlogs and it's all nice and finished, but sometimes it can just be, I don't know. I've been struggling with the vision for this room. I know it's going to be beautiful. I've got my wallpaper finished, but I'm still confused about the color. Yeah, I'm admitting that I made a mistake. I painted this blue, I don't like it, and it's okay to change your mind. At least I tried it, okay? Now I'm gonna have to, prime this again, and then I'm gonna crack on. I just wanna get this project finished now. What do you think about the color? Do you like the blue? Or do you think I'm right to go white? Thanks for your help, Zig.
I definitely didn't win this battle, but that's okay. It wasn't the first time, it's not going to be the last time. But for those of you who watched the vlog last week, you will remember that I was involved in a war with equally dangerous enemies. And this war, I think, I won. And if you haven't watched last week's vlog, I suggest to watch it to see what a struggle it was. I can only see dead wasps on the floor. And up there, there's nothing. Nothing flying, nothing on the nest. I think we're good. And one more thing. At the beginning of the vlog, I promised you to show you the finished facade. And now the scaffolding is gone, and I can reveal you the result of many months of hard labor.